Hello Taurus, welcome to the Black Hearted Oracle. Now before we get started, I'd like to pay homage and reverence to Mother Sustainer, Father Creator, and of course my beautiful ancestors. Now, what you see laid before you is your energy checkup, and I was guided to do this reading for you guys on the 2/2/2020 portal. And I had a really severe allergy attack, so I wasn't able to do it on that day, but the cards were shuffled and popped out for every sign on that day. So the energies and messages are still relevant. Okay, this is not a time sensitive read, it's just a checkup on your energies. So let's get started. The first card that you have is the Dried Flower Fairy, Sweet Memories. Then you have Step Out of Your Comfort Zone, the North Node. It says you are very close to achieving your goal. You have Broken Heart in reverse. You have Thinking Man in reverse. You have Anxiety. You have the Present, Gift, Treasure, Revelation of Own Value, Knowingness. And you have Endurance, Keep Going. And finally, you have Gratitude. Now, before we get into the messages of your reading, I do have opening guidance for you. So, well, this one is for all the earth signs. And it's 37, Illumination. It says, as darkness comes, the mirror of your spirit reflects different images. It is the time when the world changes and your being begins to glow. Reflect on the new vision that you have been living on the perimeter of your consciousness. An idea is stalking you and awaits your invitation, a place within you to begin life. The totality of your creativity comes after you have begun your work on the sacred painting of your life. It is then that the muse of inspiration surrounds you like eagles who cheer you on to illumination. Take responsibility for your work and your life, and illumination will follow. Wow. And that would be a 10, meaning a beginning of a cycle, or a closing of one. Now the dried flower fairy, it says, this darling little fairy helps you by collecting all your happy, sweet memories and keeping them from fading. These memories may be of very long ago, down through the ages, but they are still able to reach you with their message of love and sweetness, wherever you currently find yourself. You may be experiencing little reminders of some of the sweetest, most fun, and uplifting times in your life. The kind that have no great significance historically, but in the story of your life, they are pivotal moments. It could be seeing a rainbow, a star shooting bright, photography, or receiving the knowledge and sudden realization that something you did made a great, large, meaningful difference to someone else's life. It is time to honor those sweet memories again. The transcendent feelings of being one with all that is will return, giving you the strength to go on and do what you must be done. It says, when you experience difficulty or challenging time, Dried Flower Fairies is by your side. Okay. So why is a Dried Flower Fairy here for Tauruses? The moon. So yeah, it's telling you that there's, you're dealing with a lot of emotional things right now, but there's going to be important psychic insights, events happening behind the scenes, and release fears that hold you back. So don't get lost in the past, Taurus. Why step out of your comfort zone here for Taurus? Yeah, Knight of Fire. It says a sudden event that needs your immediate attention. Time is of the essence. Think things through carefully. Why is the Knight of Fire here for Taurus? Okay, yeah. Because it's time for you to take some bold action towards your abundance. You know, because if you could do this, if you could step out of your comfort zone and take these fast, bold actions, but not unthoughtful. Like, you have to really make sure that you are considering what's going on in your life. You know, and then things will start looking good. But you have to have patience while you wait for your ships to come in, because as we know, Rome wasn't built in a day. Okay. It says, you are very close to achieving your goal, the gibbous moon. Why is the gibbous? Okay. Yeah. As long as you can balance these emotions, you know, and your memories of the past, don't stew in any negative emotions of the past, Taurus. It's best that you only recall the sweet memories, as Maxwell Mark has said in Psycho-Cybernetics, is that you replay, instead of you running the tape recorder of all your failures and all the things that didn't go so right, run a tape recorder of all the positives, all the wins, all the things that made you feel great inside, so that you can come from a place of abundance and move to a place of calm or water. Would you care to elaborate on the Six of Air and Taurus's dreams coming true? The world. Yeah, because when you can move to a calmer waters, the world is gonna change, because this is a new cycle beginning. You know, it's like as the world turns, it always comes back to its center. So, a job well done, contentment, gratitude, path towards enlightenment. Why is the brokenhearted? Okay. Well, you see, I don't like this card being upside down, because when it's right side up, what I'm seeing is that this card it's telling you that you're on the mend. You know, this is the last teardrop that you're crying from a broken heart. And as you can see, it's progressing from mending to almost mend. But when it's on the other side now, I view this as you're not able to heal. But what's required of you is that you'd spend some time reflecting. You know, go over these memories, as I said, like do the inner work. There's a lot of shadow things here that I could feel that needs to be dealt with. Would you care to elaborate on the Hermit and the broken heart, please? Thank you. Yeah. You see, you're stuck in your head. But once you can do this inner reflection, there you can find your victory and get over this heartache. Even if this is one from the past that you're holding on to, you know, the memories of what was. It's time to step away from that and seek your victory. Why is the thinking man in reverse? I'm going to read that card too. Why is the thinking man in reverse? I want to see what it says. Okay. The thinking man, piece number 46. Okay. Yeah, I'm holding a heart. Next one. Okay, it says the thinking man in this position could represent a male in authority who is not acting in your best interest. But this card reverse is more about you than others in your life. This card in this position usually indicates that such a learning and growth are actually a part of your own path. And you're not heeding the call. You may be destined to be a therapist, teacher, writer, publisher, psychic, or healer of some sort. Your soul longs to serve in this capacity, whether professionally or just in your personal life. But something seems to be blocking your way. But it's time to break through and move in the direction now. Remember that you learn during your own growth. Yeah, see? You'll be able to share with others, often adding your own personal compassion and profound personal wisdom. Exactly. So let's see what this is saying. Yeah. See, that's exactly what it's saying, is that you're in a state of steady contemplation. But what happened is that you need to take a leap of faith and release these energies that you're holding on to. Why is anxiety here for Taurus? Why is anxiety here for Taurus? Okay. Because you're having choice of an exciting new venture. And it could be with a Gemini or a lover. But this is more about choices. This is coming at an emotional and, an emotional crossroads where you have choices and it has you in a state of anxiety. Would you care to elaborate on why the Page of Wands and the Lovers are here? Yeah. Because you have the opportunity to start this over with this person, but it's bringing you a lot of burden. So it's like, do you really want to go back into that situation? Because you're at a point right now where you're knowing your own value. So do you really want to go back there? Why is the present here for Taurus? Yeah, okay. Yeah. Again, Taurus, this is saying that you're going to have the strength not to give up and protect that you've created. So if you've been in a sunken place for a while, and now that you've come out of that and you're in the presence of knowing your own value, you know what I'm saying? Your inner child and your shadow and your higher self has revealed to you your own value. And you know this now. And you know that you have the key to your future. And your future is looking bright. But are you going to go back into this 3 of air? Or are you going to stand your ground and know that you've worked too hard to get to where you are emotionally and physically to let anyone else come back in and destroy that? Why is the endurance here? Why is endurance here? Magician. Yeah, you have the power to create whatever you want. You just have to keep swimming. Yeah. And don't get caught back up in these petty, quarrels with people who they want to be in your life, but they only bring bothersome details in conflict. And you guys' true life paths and goals are not the same. They may come with this, this energy of telling you that they've changed, but really and truly, that's not true. Because you can feel their energy. Because you are the magician. Would you care to elaborate on... Okay. Yeah. Yeah. See? It's telling you that it's time for you to be more focused. You have to communicate your vision, one of healing, one of hope, and know that you're making positive, optimistic, long-term plans and that you're on the right path. So you need to keep going. You have to be the leader in your own life, Taurus. Because you've done the necessary work. And it's brought you to a place of knowing your own value. And you're standing on your strength here. Right? Why is gratitude here? Gratitude speaks of bringing love into any situation and bringing gratitude into a situation to make it better. Right? So what popped out was the Ace of Cups. And though this always talks about a new love offer, that is never that. For me, how I read, it's never that. Especially when I see heartbreak and backstabbing and burdens, and needing to move to calmer emotional waters. This is always for self-love. This is always the best love. Like the one that you need in order to make another love situation work out. Do you care to elaborate on the self-love for Taurus? Oh, okay. And that one too. Okay, let's do these first. Yeah. Because you know the truth. And you're going to boldly move forward. Yeah. Because even though you've been looking at the past with these sweet memories, your intuition is telling you that it's only the devil there. Is there anything else you'd like to tell Taurus before we go? Yeah. So this is expecting the worst, self-fulfilling prophecy, sleepless nights. And it landed over, this heartbreak and the person who's not thinking, who's not headed to their path. But this person, right, is bringing you an apology and trying to show you that they can be stable. Elaborate? But you're more focused on standing in your 9 of Earth energies of being single. Not to say that you don't want this person back in your life. Yeah. Because if they're going to come back into your life, they're going to have to come back as the King of Earth. Someone who is really stable. Not someone who is offering this slow-moving opportunity that's leaving you expecting the worst. And they ride in when they finally get here, and all they're bringing is a little apology. Yeah. No, that's too much. See? And what's going to happen is that you're going to be illuminated about how this knight is backstabbing and betraying you. Anything further? Because you see, that's 9 of Swords, and this is 10 of Swords, and that leaves the Ace of Swords, which is the truth. So you will learn. It will be illuminated to you. Is there anything else you'd like to tell Taurus before we go? Yeah. See? Exactly. But through it all, what's going to end up happening is you'll get your victory. Because this is the happiest card in the deck. I want to see. How will Tauruses get their victory? By choosing the right options. Choosing the right opportunity. Yeah. And defend your beliefs and your decisions. So now that you know that if you're going back into the situation, it's only going to be more of the same, then it's best that you should defend your beliefs and your decisions to stand your ground. You don't have to get back into anything with this person. But that doesn't mean that you have to be nasty. That doesn't mean that you have to be vulgar. It doesn't mean that you have to be rude. You can firmly stand your ground and not have to raise your voice, not have to use profanities, not have to do any of these things. Because if you're more focused on your 9 of Earth and really establishing yourself fully grounded in your stability, then who has time to argue about someone betraying you? Because you're going to be illuminated out of this. Yeah, see? And you'll get the 10 of Waters by missing that opportunity and learning the wheel of fortune to change from all of this confusion and this lack mentality of having to hold on to the slightest of opportunities when all you really needed was to care about yourself enough not to put up with this and stand into your own power. And forget about any kind of third-party situations or, a relationship that was only based in the shallow, fun, nice things. Worry about this real, genuine love. But first of all, 2 of Cups, 3 of Cups, that's first self-love. And wait for somebody who is fully grounded in their emotions to build something stable with. Who won't have you crying over spilled milk. Yeah. And make sure you cut out anything that isn't bringing you justice. Anything that is inhibiting your ability to learn and work and to be the Empress. And to get a divine union with a good proposal that won't end up back to the 7 of Swords. And having to look an opportunity of walking away to something more fulfilling as the 9 of Cups, your wish fulfillment. Again, to look for your self-love. Okay, Taurus, well, I thank you so much for coming. But before you go, we do have closing guidance. And the first one is harmony. And it says music, the creation. Sound such as the Big Bang is simply the movement of air, equivalent to breathing, an act of giving life. Creation, a handmade flute, a rattle with crystals, a sacred pipe and drum, nature's voice expressed through human instruments. Music rings the bells in our heart. It opens you to movement and joy. You are in transformation through creativity. Find the secret of meditation and inner harmony by being in alert stillness. Now this one is commitment. Number 3 again. It says, you need to commit to focus on your target. Take aim, pull back the bow, and then shoot your arrow, even though you know you will hit the bull's eye with every shot. This is a duality of enlightenment. To hit the bull's eye requires total commitment to your spiritual and physical being, but it also requires total commitment to letting go, to simply walking down the path and through the gateway that leads to your true destiny. It is a process of gathering. You gather your emotions, your mental strength, and your abilities as you would gather sheep. It can be a long process, but your commitment gives you endurance. It is the next step after defining your act of power. Materialize your dreams and begin to live them. Build that magnificent dream lodge within you, and do so with total commitment. So again, Taurus, this reading is telling you that it's time for you to commit to your path. It is time that you do not continue to go through these things that have you breaking down and having to rebuild your strength all over again. So I hope these messages found you well, and I hope that you find your higher self in the quiet places, and may Ma'at hold you in her loving grace. Ashe.